Good evening, everybody. We are live, and I'm excited to talk about some imagery I got today regarding the new Harley Davidson that I believe should be released in 2 days. We might have a look at it before its official release, which is kind of exciting. I don't know how much, disclaimer up front, I don't know how accurate any of this is, but in my experience, it looks to be pretty accurate and fairly true. So I'm gonna go through with you. They've got this new video they just put out releasing the new bike. I'm gonna flip you around so you can see my screen here. In case y'all have not seen, let me clean my lens for you real quick. Give me 1 second here, guys and girls. Sorry, but the struggles of live videos. So this is the video they just put out on the new bike. So this is supposed to be released in a couple days. Here's the video. All right, short, to the point, and very sweet. A couple things stood out to me. One was the coloring, okay, of that bike is the black and gold, which is, kind of the, first of all, it's my favorite color combination of Harley Davidson's, but it's the color combination of their Lowrider S and of the past. And this would also lead me to believe that this was, sorry, I'm trying to get it back here. It kind of went away on me. Here we go. This would lead me to believe they're going to offer this new bike in the same colors as a Lowrider S, and that it's going to replace the old Lowrider S with some new upgrades. And from the imagery we see, I put it on my thumbnail there, but let's pull it up. So the first thing we see, I'm going to flip you guys around here. This is a screen grab from that video, FXLRST. So that tells me that it's probably a Lowrider S, that's like a sport version, right? And then the pictures that I got leaked to me are this one, which is the picture of the new Lowrider S, but this says FXLRST. So this would be the touring edition of the new Lowrider Sport, okay? I would say if this is the real bike that they're leaking, which I'm pretty sure it is, I think it's a home run. I think Harley did it right. I wish they would have done this exact same thing on a touring bike rather than the new Softail, which took the place of the Dyna. So I think they call it the number system, the letter system they have for these models, like the FXLRST. They're still calling it Dynas, but it's a new Softail frame, right? And we went through this a couple years ago. People were upset about it. Turned out it was a way better riding bike than the old Dynas, but they've kept a lot of the Dyna lines just on the new Softail frame. So it appears they're coming out with a new lowrider on the new Softail frame that is built 100% for performance and even performance touring. So let's look back here. What do we got? We got inverted front suspension. Okay, this is something that Harley has recently done in a few bikes, something they need to start doing in more touring model bikes. This is right here the key to them keeping up with Indian and other brands when it comes to sport touring performance bagger market. You need this inverted front suspension. It is the standard Softail frame. I can see that back here. I think the factory pipes actually look pretty good. Of course, you'll want to upgrade them for performance reasons. The hard bags that are a little bit smaller, a little bit higher. This is what a lot of the stunt guys are doing to their bikes, and a lot of performance baggers are making aftermarket bags that kind of have this backward, awkward slant, and then they cut this corner out down here. See how that corner kind of comes at an angle? This is something you're seeing in a lot of the performance baggers. And then they got this new fairing, which to me looks a little bit, dare I say, I'm gonna say it, looks a little bit like the Indian Challenger fairing, just on a smaller scale. So it looks like their new fairing comes out looking kind of similar to the Indian Challenger fairing, and also maybe a cross between the Indian Challenger fairing and a cross between the FXRT fairing that I have modified on Ashley's motorcycle, the Unicorn. If you guys have seen that build in my garage, it is kind of similar. It's kind of a cross between those two fairings, if you ask me. Almost kind of looks like the old Honda Windjammer fairing. It's, I love it. I love that fairing. I love the inverted suspension. I love the look of the bike. I like the saddlebags. And if it's supposed to come with a 117, then 117 is even better. So I'm into all of the above. Everything I'm seeing about this bike, I'm totally liking it. Now I got to look inside from the handlebars and inside the fairing too for the stereo system. Let's see if I can get that up here. Yes, here we go. So this, y'all, is a look inside of the dash. So you've got kind of that old Honda Windjammer style fairing with some nice venting in it. It looks like you got speakers on either side. You got some venting here, some venting there. I can't tell if that opens or closes. This one looks like it closes. I can't tell if those close or not. And then you've got risers with more of a T-bar style handlebar, which again, that is definitely in tune with the style of what all the performance baggers are doing. So for years, I've been saying Harley Davidson, like 2 or 3 years now, I've been saying Harley Davidson needs to start doing this type of stuff to their existing models, as opposed to creating whole new Frankenstein bikes and whole new Frankenstein, the street and some of these other bikes that they came out with definitely serve a portion of the audience, but it almost feels abandonment to their existing audience. At least to me, that's how it feels. So when I see them doing exactly what I've been begging them to do, I'm very, very excited. This is, I've been begging them to do this. And back when I used to work with them, I was trying to explain to them the importance of working with social media influencers. To them, we were nothing at the time. And now they are full on supporting social media influencers. Unfortunately, I'm no longer on that list, but they are at least doing it, and that's the most important thing. They're making the right plays for the industry. They're making right plays for the market. I think getting behind those influencers is super important. I think they should get behind more people that are, how do I say it, bona fide, people that have earned their stripes, people that are, the real deal. But they're more into creating and getting behind younger channels and trying to mold them into what they want, which kind of is the exact opposite of why people watch YouTube. So they're missing the boat a little bit there. What they really should do is just maybe suck up their pride, get behind guys like $1 Million Bogan, like myself, Shade Tree Surgeon. There's just a lot of guys out there that they should, and girls, that they should be getting behind maybe a little stronger than they are. But those are the people that have earned their stripes. Those are the people that I think have a lot of the respect in the motorcycle community, and those are the people they want fighting for them. So they're making steps in the right direction on social media. I guess that's a really long-winded way of saying it. Even though I'm not involved, I'm still happy they're doing it. And now they are finally making steps in the right way of their motorcycles. They're actually creating motorcycles that are classic American Harley Davidson motorcycles and adding the things like the fairing that's kind of retro and the performance suspension and the engine, and they're actually taking these classic American bikes and turning them into what we really want, as opposed to putting all their energy into making some bikes, which I kind of consider an abomination. They're just not Harley Davidson brand. They're not Harley Davidson direction. And I just don't think they have legs. In fact, every time Harley has tried to make a new style motorcycle, get away from the classic vintage, the classic iron, the Harley Davidson brand, when they try to get away from that image, it always eventually fails. Those bikes end up on their wayside. So to see them investing in what is their style and what is their culture, I'm all for it, man. So it appears there's going to be a sport and a sport touring model or options to this bike. And I'm telling you, I am absolutely loving it. This is a bike that I could actually add to my list, in my roster of bikes. I mean, this is something I would want. This is something I would ride. This is something that I can get excited about. Harley Davidson, you may have just hit a home run. I think maybe a day late. I think you could have done this a couple years ago, but you are a giant and giants move slow. I understand that. I can respect that. But nonetheless, well, Mike says it's probably $35K and it might be overpriced. There's no telling, but at least they're supporting their culture and supporting their heritage. They're doing it. Maybe a little late. I think they could have done it sooner. Okay, myself, but they're doing it. And so there's two areas that I can say, Harley Davidson, good job. Get behind your social influencers and your social media personalities, the people that are out there riding that can actually share it with real riders that real riders can relate to, not going behind multi-million-dollar celebrities. I did a meeting with Harley one time and I wanted to do a kind of a seminar meet and greet at the Harley Museum. And I had almost ridden every Harley Davidson dealership in America. My numbers were just off the charts. And their answer to me was, well, when we do stuff with meet and greets, we do people like Jay Leno. And I took that as a pretty major insult, right? Like that was super rude of them to do. And, that was just kind of the tone of the people that were running Harley back then. I think they got some new blood in there. I think they got some new people running it. And I think they're doing a damn good job. So even though I'm not a part of it anyway, which is why I can leak you guys stuff like this and tell you my opinion, because they don't work with me. So I'm allowed to talk about what I want, which is a benefit for you and a benefit for me. But I got to say, doing good on a social platform, and god dang it, are they not doing good on the new motorcycle? I love it. I think it's sexy. I think it's beautiful. And I just think they nailed it with that thing. Look at it. Yep. Looks like a little cooler there. Yeah, it's a good looking bike. It's a good looking bike. It's a good looking dash. I'm sure it's going to ride good. That has been a good riding bike for Harley, this new Softail model. It's a monoshock rear. It's a suspension with, instead of a shock on either side like a Dyna had, it's a monoshock in the middle. And this is the way of the future. This is the way that, all bikes are made that are high performance bikes. So for them, I think this was a good move. Next, they need to do the same thing to the Bagger. They need to redesign that frame. They need to get it on a monoshock. They need to work on the ergonomics and the lean, not the lean angle. The lean angle is good, but just the geometry of the frame. It just doesn't lean over as easy and as smoothly. It's got more resistance than some of the other bikes. And I think a lot of that has to do with the suspension, geometry of the frame. They get those two things nailed down in that performance Bagger market, and they are going to have home runs there too. I think this here will be probably a winner for them. Absolutely. What do y'all think about the bike? Let me hear your thoughts. Pauler says badass. Monoshock was in the victory, 2004 and up. Yes, Harley's finally catching up. Yes, they are behind. They are a slow-moving giant, but they had people, and I can't speak to the new people running the company, but I can speak to the people running it when I was there, and a lot of them just didn't get it, man. I mean, they had people who spent their days in the office telling me how to pack my motorcycle and that my motorcycle luggage was unsafe. They told me that. I'd ridden coast to coast, 8, 12 times by then. I'd visited like 600 of their Harley Davidson dealerships, and a lady pulls me in the office and tells me that my motorcycle pack is not safe and I need to change it. I told her, no, my pack has made it further than anybody in this office has ever ridden a motorcycle. My pack's just fine. It's not changing. But that's just the mentality they had, right? It was just all ego. I think from looking at the moves that they've made with other influencers and now some of the moves they're making, like with this bike, I think they've swallowed some of that pride, or maybe they didn't. Maybe they got rid of those people and new people are in there, but they're making great decisions, y'all. I'm behind them 100%. I love Harley Davidson. I absolutely do. I have loved Harley for a very long time. Harley Davidson has been a piece of my soul from forever. When I did this great big tour, I chose to do it on Harley Davidson because, well, they were a piece of my soul. I loved all motorcycles. I had many different brands, but I chose Harley because they had the soul and they were part of my soul. And then when I saw how they were running their company, it kind of ruined it for me for a bit. I'm not going to lie to you. It made me feel like the people running the company didn't have any vested stake in the true biker, the true motorcycle culture. It felt like they were just not in touch. And it it never steered me away from loving the brand. I always loved the brand. I still love the brand, but it opened my eyes to what the company had become. And although I love the brand, the company, I was not a big fan of. And now I'm a fan of some of the things they're doing. You guys are doing good things. If there's new people up there making decisions, y'all are worth your weight in gold because you're doing what's right. You're supporting your bikers. You're supporting your core audience. Yes, you're modifying it a little bit for some younger audience to come into it, but you're not losing your identity in the process. And I think that's where Harley lost out so much. They started selling their identity, reaching for the next thing. And not everybody's going to like it. I see some people on here saying they don't like it. And not everybody is going to, but I'm telling you, for the 30s, 20s, even early 40s generation like myself, this is the direction everybody wants them to go. This is the future, and they're doing it without selling themselves out, without abandoning their soul. And I absolutely have to dig it. Johnson says he likes the bike, but not the bags. How many of you agree with him? The bike looks good, but without the bags? We'll see if the bike's 35K. I think this bike should fall in sub 20,000. I'm thinking 18 grand, outfitted the way it is now, would be a great price point on something like that. I think that would be, $18,000, that would be a good bike. What's up, Matt Higgs? Bags are too small. The bags are a little bit small. There's no doubt about it, but it's a performance bagger. It's not made to, full-time tour the world and pack the kitchen sink. It's made to, be able to take road trips, but in a more sporty fashion. It's, no different than, you could travel in a sports car. Sports car's got a trunk, but it's set up as a sports car, right? The trunk's gonna be a little bit smaller. That's same philosophy here. It's what it's built for. Oh, I hope it's not 27,000. That would just make me sick. I'm 50 and I like this bike a ton, someone just said. I agree, 2020, I do agree 2-in-1 pipe would be great. I don't know if the bags and fairing are quick disconnect or not. I would say they do look to be able, certainly the bags probably quick disconnect. Taller T-bars, that definitely is not a bad idea. You could probably go a little taller with those T-bars, but again, that's an easy modification. I mean, that's simple stuff. I'm not a big fan of slip-on exhaust, buddy. I like performance, so I'm a big fan of the D&D exhaust. Someone was asking me here about slip-on exhaust. If I was just gonna slip on just for sound, I'd probably I don't know what I'd do. I don't know. I've always done full exhaust, just because it creates more performance, not just sound. So I don't have your best advice for that, but I'm sure there's good advice out there. All right, y'all. Don't know about the tank. Don't know about the mileage. Speedo in the handlebars as a tack. Yeah, so it would appear that that's a little LCD screen right there in the handlebars, and that will also be a tack or a speedometer. I don't know. I don't know any of this. I sure hope it's not $25,000. That would be a huge miss on Harley Davidson's part. Hopefully they can keep it sub 20,000 and sell a boatload of them, bringing them back. It might be around that 22 to 25 knowing HD, but man, if they could make that thing sub 18, 19 grand, this thing would sell like hotcakes, I'm telling you. I would consider going and buying one if it was at that price range. I like the bike. I think it's pretty. Yeah, 50 like the old school leather bags. I dig it. I like the old school leather bags too. Do not get me wrong. I absolutely love the old school leather bags. Do I ever think I'll get a campground towards the East Coast? I would love to have a campground towards the East Coast. I think my next move is going to be the West Coast, unless I find the right deal on the East Coast. But then after I get West Coast, I'd love to have one East Coast, so that way I've got a spot for all regions of riders to come and enjoy, all regions of veterans to come and enjoy. If y'all didn't see my video I dropped today talking about me expanding and hunting, I'm on the hunt for my second campground. It's going to be a motorcycle campground It's going to be awesome. I hope. We're working on it. I've started. I'm going to auction off all my T-shirts I collected on my tour with Scooter. You see Scooter sitting there behind me? You see him back there? I collected T-shirts with him. Him and I personally picked each one up. They're going to come with a certificate of authenticity. I'm going to auction those off so that we can use the money towards opening another veterans campground. I'm also selling my Jeep Gladiator because, well, I bought that Jeep to ride with my boy Scooter when he couldn't get on a motorcycle anymore. I bought it to tour with him, and now that he's gone, I just don't see myself doing that type of touring. And I still have a Jeep if I want to do Jeep stuff because Ashley has a Jeep. So we still have another Jeep, so I'm selling the Jeep, and I'm going to go ahead and put whatever I sell that Jeep for towards the down payment on a new campground as well. So we're going to expand. We're going to start. I'm starting to put the money away. I'm starting to look, and before long, we will have another location of the K River Campground. Could be east, could be west. I'm leaning towards the west. R.I.P. Scooter. Can I get some love out there for Scooter? Can I get some hearts or some thumbs ups or something just to... I see all you people writing about Scooter, man. I appreciate it. I miss that little guy so much, man. I feel like, can I be honest? I feel like I lost part of my identity. I feel like all of you followed me because of me and Scooter. And even though he wasn't in the videos a lot lately because he was getting older, I still felt like he was the main corner pin of what I did. He was the show. I was a chauffeur. And now that he's not there, I almost felt like I lost part of who I am and part of what I worked for so many years. So, oh, Roy, thank you, man. Thank you for that. I'll make that as a donation. I will add that to the down payment for a new campground where veterans will be able to stay free in Scooter's name. Thank you for that donation of $5. That was super kind of you. I'm not asking for donations like that, but man, that is generous. And I will make sure that is $5 is set aside, and it will go towards that cause. All right, y'all. So you want to find out more about my new campground venture and what I'm going to do? Also, how much money we donated in free camping to veterans last year right here at the K River Campground. Pretty phenomenal number. Go watch my video. It's on my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It's a huge help to keep me moving forward and keep me doing stuff like this. And that's about it, guys. I'm going to let you go. You guys can go check out that video on the campground. And like I said earlier, if you guys are just tuning in, the new FXLRS and ST, I think Harley Davison made a home run. I'm completely blunt. I'm sure some of people over there don't like me being so blunt, but you know what? That's the way it goes. I get to be honest and straightforward, and that's exactly what I'm doing. They've made a lot of bad mistakes lately, and it's hurt them. It's hurt their stocks. It's hurt their numbers. You can look at it and see how bad that stuff has hurt them. But it looks like they're headed the right direction, and I, for one, am rooting for them. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you later, and I hope you all enjoyed this little improv live. I thought I'd share with you what I got. And Anonymous Biker, 23,999, he's guessing. Well, it might be. I think that's a little high. I think that's about $5,000 high. I think $5,000 or $6,000 high. I think it should be in the teens, but we'll see what happens. Either way, it's a dang good looking bike. And thank you for all the nice stuff you're saying about Scooter. Jared, thank you very much. I appreciate that. That is another $5 I am going to stick. So now $10 right there towards the down payment of opening another campground to let veterans stay for free. Thank you so much for that, man. I really appreciate it. That money will get set aside and will get used for that. We will, one way or another, open up another campground. I set my heart to it. 2 major goals this year. 1, find another campground. 2, launch my new motorcycle project. Another reason I'm getting rid of the Jeep. I'm doubling down back to my motorcycles this year. I will be doing some side-by-side stuff because I just enjoy the 4-wheeling off-road. I'm going to be honest. But doubling down on my motorcycling stuff this year. I got a new project coming out. You may have saw me test the market with Arkansas Motorcycle Destinations. I'm planning on bringing it all across America. That's an official live leak. I probably shouldn't have said. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow before I get myself in any more trouble. It's going to be a big year on 2 wheels for me. Maybe, I'll tell you what, Harley Davidson, if you're watching this, you reach out to me and you want me to test ride one of these bikes for you, I will test ride it and give an honest review. And no hard feelings on my side. I think you guys are kicking ass now. We'll talk to you later. Bye.